Ineffective collection is a common and serious problem for many businesses in Israel, especially small and medium-sized ones. Situations in which businesses and service providers supply products, goods, invest money in the production and payment of salaries, pay VAT, and finally find themselves sitting and waiting for money not to arrive, are common, and make it difficult to properly manage the business and cash flow, and the balance of expenses and income. Law firm data shows that ineffective collection is a major and primary source of cash flow and credit crunch problems among small and medium-sized businesses. How to deal with customers who do not pay. Israeli businesses that sell on credit transactions with a 90-day spread and charge an average of 110 days increase their credit requirement and needs by 20%. When it comes to a small business whose credit limit is an IS 500,000, the result is an increase in the credit limit by an IS 100,000, and without a doubt, this is significant damage that may accumulate and swell over time. Most business owners place emphasis and invest most of their efforts in delivering a service or product in a quality and professional manner, but find it difficult and complicated to collect the payment, and find themselves forced to pursue the customer in order to get value for the services or products they provide. Principles and tools that will help business owners make smart and efficient collection. Reference to collection as a value. Many business owners and executives tend to treat the collection process as a marginal matter and feel uncomfortable asking and demanding money they deserve. On the other hand, when the owner or manager of the business treats the issue of collection as an important and central value and does stick to the matter, then the employees and customers treat the issue in the same way and understand the meaning and importance of receiving payment on time and in order of payments. Appointment of collection officer. Any business owner or service provider, small or large, will appoint someone on his behalf to be responsible for collecting payments. In addition, it is recommended and important to establish internal monitoring, supervision and reporting procedures, and to hold a weekly meeting with the participation of the owner or manager of the business or company, with the person in charge of collection, often in the presence of a lawyer. When there is a permanent professional who is responsible for collecting funds and managing cash flow, the business owner will be free to engage in the day-to-day management of the business, and less in the day-to-day collection activities. Arranged collection procedures. Every business and service provider is advised to prepare clear and orderly collection procedures according to the nature and scope of its activity. According to the procedure, it will be decided and determined when to send a reminder to the customer, at what stage to contact and call him, when the customer is no longer allowed to purchase products or receive services, and finally when to act in legal ways due to non-paying customer and collection problems. Clear and orderly procedures will avoid situations of inconvenience that arise when it is necessary to request and pursue the payment, as well as create order in the collection system and improve its efficiency. There are situations where it is better to lose a customer, who in any case does not pay, and thus saves a waste of time in dealing with a non-paying customer. Sending reminders. Experience shows that customers also need reminders from time to time, and there are several ways to remind customers pleasantly and calmly that the date of payment is approaching. After sending the invoice that includes a demand for payment, it is advisable to contact the customer to make sure that he has actually received it, and that he knows in what form he is supposed to pay: bank transfer, check, etc. As the payment date approaches, you should call the customer who is supposed to transfer the payment and check with him how he prefers and is comfortable with paying. If the customer is interested in paying by check, a check should be found out in front of him, whether he prefers to send the check by mail or he prefers to send the check by courier. There is another option, which is to coordinate and schedule an appointment towards the date of payment, and when adjusting the date of the appointment, it is possible to mention that they will write and prepare the check that is intended for you. It is recommended in any case to send to customers once a month, and especially to customers who are given long-term credit, a list of debts, and in this way, it is possible to maintain continuous contact with the customer so that he knows how much he is supposed to pay each month. Keep calm. If the customer does not pay the money he owes you and continues to delay the payments, there will be no choice, and you will be required to contact him personally, and you may begin to feel uncomfortable with the situation. Well, even in this situation, it is important to stay calm, because when talking to a customer who does not pay for collection, but broadcasts that you do not like, then the customer may take advantage of this and continue to evade debt repayment, presenting a variety of arguments and objections. In them, Therefore, it is important to maintain confidence and composure, not to feel guilty and to be nice, but determined and not aggressive. Do not linger too long. Do not hesitate to check what happens with the payment immediately after the due date has passed. Every business owner must know how to stand on his own, not give up money he deserves, and not linger and wait for time to pass, and payment will continue to linger. When it comes to businesses and large companies, the payment process is more complex and involves complicated bureaucratic procedures and obtaining approvals from the various departments in accounting. Only obtaining approval from all relevant departments will allow bookkeeping to transfer payment. If you know and understand how the payment process works for your customers, you can continue to promote processes and ensure payment is received on time instead of waiting for approvals. In order to make sure that the payment arrives to you on time, you must know and understand the process, as well as get legal guidance and advice from an expert lawyer in the field of debt collection and enforcement proceedings, in order to manage the bureaucratic procedures effectively and release bottlenecks. Check with the customer if there are any problems with the product or service. In cases where the payment does not arrive on time, it is quite likely that the customer has run into difficulties and financial problems, so it is important to keep in touch with him and check the situation. If it turns out that the customer is not satisfied with the product or service he received and therefore does not transfer the payment, in many cases, he will not bother at all and will try to contact you until you have to chase after him, and only after contacting him will come up and present the problems. In such a situation, one should try to rectify the situation and deal with the problems in the way, and in the best way, that will provide a solution to the customer and make him transfer the payment and monetary consideration. In cases where the customer runs into difficulties and financial problems, it is quite possible that due to the customer's inconvenience and unpleasantness, he will try to provide a variety of reasons and excuses for not transferring the payment on time. To help him, it is worthwhile to gently and sensitively check whether the non-transfer of the payment is due to an economic reason, and if so, to offer him a spread of the debt for payments. Letter of warning and demand before taking legal action. Taking legal steps and procedures, it is true that there will be a last resort and means to collect a debt, and before you start a legal process, you should send an official demand letter to the client detailing the steps and actions you have already taken in order to get the debt back. If the client sees and understands that you are determined and serious, he will prefer to repay the debt and pay you, and not get into a legal battle that involves paying lawyers. It is advisable to enlist the services of an attorney who specializes in debt collection and is knowledgeable in the procedures and steps that can be taken to ensure payment is received. An experienced lawyer and expert in the field will draft and send a warning letter and warning to a non-paying client after checking and verifying that all other steps and options for action and reaching an understanding between the business owner or company and the problematic and refusing client have been exhausted. Applying in legal proceedings against a client who does not pay before all the actions and other possibilities for reaching a solution on the issue and the matter between the parties have been examined and exhausted is not recommended, and it is better to try to exhaust all other steps and proceedings before initiating legal proceedings. Extracting all the other possible solutions before taking legal action is an important and beneficial thing that can save you a lot of valuable time and unnecessary financial costs if the dispute ends in an understanding of both parties. Many times, the parties fail to reach an agreement due to gaps in disagreement regarding the amount, a struggle and dispute between the parties, or due to a lack of good faith and a deliberate desire on the part of the client not to meet his obligations. Other situations are that the customer has received the product or service, however he has various problems and complaints regarding the quality of the product or service, and as a result, he refuses to transfer the payment. In these situations, it is best to first send a letter of demand and notice to a client who evades payment, and to engage in the struggle and conflict of an expert and experienced lawyer in debt collection, contract law and warning letters. Imposition of sanctions on customers. Imposition of various restrictions and sanctions due to late payment and delay can also begin before the service is provided or a product is delivered as part of a contract agreement with the customer, or it can be done retrospectively after you have reached a situation where the customer does not pay and transfers the money through a lawyer or law firm. Not in all cases and situations the imposition of sanctions does help, but in most cases, it deters customers who are late in paying. How is it recommended to act? Discontinuation of customer services. When it comes to customers who do not pay you on time, systematically, you can consider whether to stop selling them products or provide services, and at the same time, consider and examine the customer's alternatives and options. What is its extent and moral implications? Imposing fines and interest on late payment. Imposing a monetary fine, for example interest, may create pressure on the customer to receive the money you deserve as soon as possible. It is worthwhile to explain and clarify to the client in writing, through a lawyer who is an expert in the field of debt collection, the whole matter of interest rates and fines, even before the beginning of the professional relationship between you. Initiation of legal collection procedures. When clients cross any boundaries and act in bad faith in front of you, you should consider taking and enforcing strict and effective legal collection steps and procedures. Israeli assistance from an external party. If you are tired or discouraged from all other courses of action and options, it is time to seek professional assistance and initiate legal collection proceedings with a lawyer or law firm. You can also enlist the services of an outside professional company that deals with fundraising against a non-paying client. We will be happy to be at your service and provide you with an answer and guidance all the way until you return all the money you deserve, while maintaining the vital and important interests for you and fully exercising the rights you deserve. An experienced and professional lawyer and notary in the field of contract law and collection proceedings. Law firm and notary Shimon Hahn specializes in providing professional and quality legal services to its many clients in the field of civil law, commercial, contract law, collection and execution proceedings, construction and real estate defects, wills and inheritances, and more. The team of lawyers in our firm has rich experience and expertise in providing quality advice and support in collection procedures and in taking enforcement action. The above should not be considered as legal advice and/or a substitute for it. It is recommended to consult with lawyer Shimon Hahn before any action. To contact attorney Shimon Hahn, call 25 25544.